So what's my secret to surviving back to school season as a single mom, teacher, and business owner? Well, I'm glad you asked because I have a lot of details on what keeps this household and my life running. Basically, I choose to be super high maintenance on certain days of the week so that I can be low maintenance for the rest of the week. And in this video, I want to share some of the strategies that I use that has helped me maintain some of my self-care habits and help our home run smoothly as a working mom. So let's get into it. Number one is building cozy routines into your daily schedule. So I have weekly routines where there's certain days of the week where I do certain habits. So on Fridays, I come home from work and I like my house to be clean for the weekend so I can enjoy it. So I do a 30-minute to an hour tidy of my house, and I vacuum the floors upstairs, I vacuum the rugs upstairs, I sweep the floors, I wash them. I make sure that I get laundry done that needs to be done for the weekend. I wipe down the counters and I put candles on so the house is smelling nice. And also every time I come home, I always light my fireplace because I have twinkle lights in there, so I do that. That's my Friday routine for the home. And I make sure to do a quick pickup. So during the week, if there was just a lot of things that were left out, like lunch boxes or whatever, I make sure that those have been tidied up so I can enjoy the house for the weekend. In terms of self-care, on Fridays, what I've been doing lately, I actually think I'm going to switch this to Thursday nights because Fridays is just a little bit too much to get done. I want to always make sure that I take care of myself so I can be the best version of myself and feel good and confident when I'm out in public or at work or in Austin for the weekend. So what I like to do is I do high maintenance routines that are making my daily life and getting ready in the morning more of a low maintenance habit. So on Friday nights, I do self-tanner. I've just started self-tanning again because I feel like if I wear self-tanner, I don't really have to wear as much makeup or foundation. So I've been self-tanning. I dye my eyebrows, and I have pretty light eyebrows, so in order to just feel put together, I always have to fill them in. And some mornings, I just want to wake up and look like I don't really have to do anything. And by dyeing my eyebrows, that really achieves that. Eventually, I would love to get my eyebrows microbladed. I just don't want to spend the money on that right now. Another habit I do is sometimes I'll have one of Calvin's friends do my lashes and have those done for a week. I eventually want to get my lashes professionally done or maybe do a lash lift and tint. I'm probably going to try that at home. I'm a little hesitant to do that because I feel like I would mess it up and burn my eyeballs, but I don't know. People seem to be able to do it, so maybe I would. The other thing that I do is I wax. I wax my eyebrows, my lip, whatever needs to be waxed. And let me think of the other things I do. I do my nails and I give myself a pedicure if I haven't done it at the salon. I've actually been trying to spend more money at the nail salon because the one by my house is actually really affordable. So I'll get my nails done and I get a pedicure there for $60. And it just makes me feel so much more put together and confident, and just I feel good about myself. But this week I didn't have extra money. My son's birthday's coming up and it was back to school, so I ended up just doing my own nails and they're not too bad. I gave myself a pedicure. And let's see what else. And then on Friday night, that's when I usually try to watch a movie. Not a family movie, just a movie for myself. And have popcorn and just relax after the long week at work. And just a lot of times Calvin and his friends go out Friday nights. They go roller skating or have a sleepover at a friend's house. So I usually have the house to myself. So it's a nice time for me to just either draw or read or watch a movie. On Sunday, I have a Sunday reset ritual where I, again, clean the house, tidy up, declutter a little bit, make sure that the house is easy to maneuver for after the weekend and going into the work week. I make sure the entryway is clean and write down some of the things that I need on my to-do list so that my brain is decluttered and just able to function for the week. And then I also update my slides and make sure that the curriculum is all ready for the week for my students so that I'm not stressed out when I go in on Monday. This is my second year teaching my current position, which is early childhood special ed. So I don't know, everything feels like it's flowing easier. I know what I'm doing and it just feels like a much more manageable year. Whereas last year I was kind of just getting into it. And this year I feel really like we have a really good routine. The kids, it's their second year with me. For the majority of them, it's their second year with me. They're 4 now, they used to be 3. and they know our routine, so it's just been easier. So I don't really do a lot of work from home. I pretty much have a routine at school and a routine at home, and it just makes everything flow. And then it automates my life because I don't have to think about it, because I already know what I'm doing on those days or during those times. The other thing I do on Sunday nights is I set out my clothes for the week. I try to do a weekly capsule theme where I'll pick out certain items. So I'll do the 3-3-3 method, which is 3 shoes, 3 shirts, 3 pants. And I make sure that they coordinate with each other so I can mix and match. And I'll just set up outfits for the week. And usually if I'm doing a certain capsule for that week, it's usually the same jacket that I'm wearing or the same type of shoes or whatever. And then I'll just mix in accessories and stuff. That really helps, is just having your outfits laid out and ready for you for the week. It just takes a lot of clutter out of your brain when you're trying to get ready in the morning. The other thing that I've been doing is I have been trying, and I've actually been pretty good at it. Every year that I've been teaching, I have gained a little bit of weight, just a few pounds here and there, but the staff room is always loaded with snacks. Everyone brings us donuts and there's leftovers from birthday parties, and it's very tempting to go into the snack room and grab a donut. And I'm really trying to cut out grains and dairy from my diet because it really does not make me feel well. So I've kind of achieved not going to the snack room, the lounge, and getting snacks, just because I know it doesn't make me feel good. So I've noticed that if I'm meal planning and I've prepped enough meals and just like snacks with high protein, I'm not reaching for those things in the lounge. And that has really helped me stick to my diet and stick to healthy eating. I prep breakfast, and my son really likes chia seed pudding, so we'll do seasonal flavors for chia seed pudding and yogurt parfait we both like, and I'll just prep those and put them in the fridge. I need to get better at it this year. I need to go and buy the mason jars that we use and just have a bunch of them prepped for the week for every day. Otherwise, in the middle of the week, I'm having to prep more, and it'd just be easier if I did it all in one day. The other thing that I like to do is prep either a meal with a lot of leftovers that I can bring to work every day, or I'll prep 1 or 2 proteins and then a grain and then vegetables, so that I can throw in different ingredients for different lunch bowls or mix it into a salad. I am not really great at the batch cooking yet. I'm not really great at food prep, and I noticed in doing this video, this is my 3rd week into the school year. I meant to do this prior to the start of the school year, but I'm just realizing now the areas that I need to fine tune so that my life is a little bit easier during the week and I can stick to my goals. And that's one of the areas I really need to focus on, is the batch cooking, and get consistent with that. So I'll have a dairy, a grain, meat, and vegetables, and then you can mix them into different bowls with different dressings or sauces. So that has been working, and it would work a lot better if I was more consistent with it. On Sundays, I also really like to do a budget meeting, and I sit down with my spending and I go over my spending and my planner and my budget, and I figure out where I was going overboard and where I need to cut back, and just like where things are going well and where I'm actually achieving my goals in the finance department, which is kind of hard for me. On Sundays, I also like to create art. So we go to church in the morning. We're actually looking for a new church. We were part of this church plant and it closed, and now we're church shopping again, we haven't gone for a few weeks just because I don't even want to do this again. We had found a church that we really loved and we were really involved in. And anyways, so Sundays, I like to go to church. I like to do these preps for the week. And I also like to create art and read on Sundays. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I just try to make sure that I get that done on Sundays so that I get like a big art session for myself. I'll do a daily drawing, but I don't always sit down and do a project. And right now I'm working on creating a fiddle leaf fern from the corner of my living room out of Trader Joe's paper bags. And anyways, I have kittens at the house right now and they're just destroying all my plants, but I need more plants in the house, so I'm thinking maybe they're just paper ones. They'll be less dangerous for them. And this one next to me, they're loving this, and I'm having to protect it with a chair, but then they climb on the chair and get to it. So anyways, so that's my Sundays. And those are all my daily weekly routines on certain days. But every day I have a daily morning routine and evening routine. And having this is very helpful because basically, as someone with possible ADHD, it's really hard for me to stick to things and be consistent and disciplined. But if I have a weekly routine and a daily routine that things are just tied into my schedule, everything is automated. I don't have to think about it. My brain doesn't have to think, what am I going to do next? I already know what I'm going to do next because it's on my schedule. And so I have a morning routine. I wake up at 5 a.m. I brush my teeth, put my contacts in, make my bed. Then I come downstairs, put the twinkle lights in the fireplace. I'll usually feed the cats because by then they're crying to be fed. I do a 15-minute workout. If I'm running short on time, I'll do at least 5 minutes of a workout. I need to get my blood pumping. I need to get up and go. It's really helpful for me. And honestly, some of these 5-minute workouts, they're like, it's a good workout. It's not bad, but I try to at least do 5 minutes, but usually it's 15. I'll make coffee, then I sit down and I journal and pray in my bullet journal, and I write out my daily planner. I read my Bible, I read 2 pages of one of my favorite books, and then I make sure to draw. And I scroll on Pinterest for a little bit because I don't know what it is. I love Pinterest, and usually I need ideas in my head to get for my drawing habit, and I'll just get on Pinterest for a little bit. And that's my morning routine, and then I go upstairs, I take a shower, and I wake my son up and make breakfast, and then we get off to school. And then in the evening, I have another evening routine. And basically, I come home from work. I'll usually sometimes do a quick pickup from the morning, sweep the floor or whatever. I have a lab and he just sheds everywhere, so I'll sweep the floor. Then I'll run upstairs, take a quick shower where I just rinse off. Then I put on my workout clothes, and then I'll sit in the living room and do work for an hour. And that is, I need to put my business first, and that's been one of my goals this year, is to, maybe I have a million other things to do, but that business comes first because that's what's going to give me financial freedom and stability and really push my life forward. And I need to really make sure that it's a priority, even when I have a million other things going on. After that, I usually cook dinner, and then I clean up from dinner, and then I try to take my dog on a walk because I've been trying to get 10,000 steps in a day. And then I'll come home from the walk, do a quick pickup of the house, and then take a shower, put my pajamas on, and usually sit down and watch a show, do work on my computer, do schoolwork if I need to, and or read or do whatever. But usually after school, I'm just really spent and I just need to decompress and watch TV or something. So that's my evening ritual. And at night, I like the lights low and it's cozy in here, and it's just nice. But those are my daily rituals and my weekly rituals that are kind of high maintenance, but they make my life low maintenance. And so things go easier and smoother, and I can handle all of the tasks that I have in my life. So anyways, I use these same budget in my bullet journal. I create the same layout every day, and I write it in by hand. And I decided recently, I am doing this every single day. Why not just make the same daily pages and put them in my TPT shop? So I created daily pages, and they will be in my TPT shop, and I'm going to have them linked in my YouTube video, and then they'll be linked in the blog post that goes along with this video. So check it out, see if they help you. I know that writing down my routine every day, tracking my habit, and having a top 3 of things that I want to achieve every day for my work, my teaching job, and my business has just been very helpful. Oh, and my evening routine, I forgot to add, I always add in quality time with my son. He's also almost 14 now, and he doesn't really want to hang out with me anymore, but I try to do a little bit together. And I'll watch a YouTube video together, so that's my schedule. So I will link all the important things in my YouTube video, and let me know what you think. See you next time.